Imagine turning a page and seeing a cosmic mystery, a signal from the stars that changed everything forever. This is the story of the famous WOW signal. Imagine sitting in a quiet room in 1977. The air is filled with the faint hum of a mainframe computer and the rhythmic clicking of a line printer. You are Jerry Eman, a volunteer researcher at Ohio State University, and your job is about as tedious as it gets. You are staring at stacks of fanfold paper covered in a sea of alphanumeric characters. For months, it's been nothing but a monotonous landscape of ones and twos, the static hiss of the cosmos. But then, you turn a page, and your heart skips a beat. There, in the middle of a vertical column, is a sequence that looks like a scar. 6EQUJ5. You don't call for help. You don't jump out of your chair. You simply grab a red pen, circle those characters, and write a single word in the margin that would haunt the scientific community for the next half-century. Wow! Nearly 50 years have passed since that moment, and we are still staring at that same piece of paper, trying to figure out if we caught a whisper from the stars or just a glitch. To understand why this signal was so earth-shattering, we have to look at the instrument that caught it. It wasn't a sleek dish. It was a telescope nicknamed Big Ear, a massive, fixed structure about the size of 3 football fields. It didn't move to track stars. Instead, it sat patiently on the ground, letting the Earth's rotation sweep the sky across its view. It was a meridian transit telescope. As our planet spun, different slices of the universe would pass over its twin metal horns. In the mid-70s, Big Ear was dedicated to SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. If someone else is out there, they would likely use radio waves. They pierce through the thick dust. But how do you find a needle in a galaxy-sized haystack? You look for something that doesn't happen in nature. Natural objects are noisy. They broadcast across a wide range of frequencies, like a person slamming their hands down on every key of a piano at once. An artificial signal, however, would be narrowband, a single, sharp note held with perfect precision. On the night of August 15th, it rang out. The signal was detected at 1,420.4 megahertz. To a radio astronomer, that number is sacred. It's the frequency of the hydrogen line. Since hydrogen is the most common element, it's believed that any advanced civilization would use its frequency as a universal hailing channel. It's the cosmic equivalent of channel 16 on a marine radio. If you want to talk to a stranger, you use the frequency you know. What made the WOW signal truly eerie was its shape. Because Big Ear was fixed, any stationary source would gradually reach a peak. This process took exactly 72 seconds. When Eamon looked at the data, the signal followed this bell curve perfectly. It rose and fell. It wasn't a local interference from a passing car. It behaved exactly like a point source located light years away. The sequence 6EQUJ5 isn't a secret code. It was the computer's way of describing the signal's power. Letters represented increasing intensity. U, the peak of our signal, was a massive spike, over 30 times stronger than the background noise. It was loud, it was clear, and it was coming from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, near a group of stars called Chi Sagittarii. But here is where the mystery turns into a frustration. Big Ear had 2 horns. Real sources should be detected twice, but the WOW signal only appeared in 1 horn. It was there, and then, moments later, there was nothing but silence. For years, skeptics have tried to find a down-to-earth explanation. Was it a secret military satellite? Unlikely. The frequency was protected. Was it a reflection of a ground-based signal off space debris? The reflecting object would have to be perfectly stationary. In 2016, a new theory made headlines: comets. Astronomer Antonio Paris suggested two specific comets were passing through the area in 1977. He argued that the large hydrogen clouds surrounding these comets could have caused the signal. It sounded like the perfect case-closed moment. However, the SETI community wasn't convinced. They pointed out that comets are moving targets, and the WOW signal was a point source. Furthermore, hydrogen clouds from comets don't produce the kind of intense, narrow signal Eamon observed. They couldn't replicate the result. In 2022, another lead emerged. Researcher Alberto Caballero analyzed the Gaia satellite data and found a Sun-like star. 2MASS 1928198-2-2640123. It's 1,800 light-years away, and it's almost a twin of our own Sun. Could there be a planet? Could someone there have been testing a high-powered radio transmitter for just a few minutes in 1977? It's a tantalizing thought, but we have no way to confirm it. Since 1977, we have pointed our best telescopes at those coordinates hundreds of times. We've used the VLA in New Mexico, the Parkes dish in Australia, and even the now-lost Arecibo Observatory. We've listened for days. But the universe has remained stubbornly quiet. This brings us to the most uncomfortable possibility. Maybe it was a one-off. We often assume that an alien civilization would be broadcasting a continuous hello for thousands of years. But what if? A lighthouse beam that only swept past us once. Or perhaps a high-energy radar burst used for navigation that we just happened through. If the WOW signal was a message, it was a very short one. But its impact has been lasting. It proved our search isn't theoretical. There are things happening in the radio spectrum that we cannot explain with our current maps of the stars. Today, Jerry Eamon remains cautious. He doesn't claim he found aliens. He simply says he found a signal that looked like the one. And maybe that's the most haunting part. We did everything right, and for 72 seconds, the universe gave us exactly what we asked for, and then it never spoke again. What do you think Jerry Eamon actually saw? Was it a bizarre atmospheric fluke, a passing comet we didn't understand, or a genuine ping from a civilization around a sun-like star 1,800 light-years away? The mystery remains open. If we ever hear it again, will we be ready to answer? 72 seconds, 1 pen mark, and 50 years of questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Beyond Explained for more cosmic mysteries. Keep looking up, and we'll see you in the next one.